Hello and welcome to my presentation. I'm Sophie Guermann and I'm working as project assistant for the part 2 of the project Bilder der Schweiz Online. Today I'm replacing Michael Matile, who is responsible for part 2 of the project. He apologized but unfortunately he couldn't be with us for personal reasons. So today I'm going to briefly present you where we are with part 2 of the project since our last meeting. So on June 15, we presented the initial ideas for the public, and our focus was on the integration of the Bilder der Schweiz Online topics into the 2021 curriculum for schools. Since the end of June, we are in contact with Dr. Jan Odell, a lecturer for history and history didactics at the Fachhochschule Nordwestschweiz to develop a learning environment. We aim to develop this environment during 2022 and hope to tell you more at our next meeting. So today I'm going to present you what we have been thinking about since June. So the target audiences, the structure of the website, the content of the website, and I'm going to end with the development of our thesaurus. This will be a small overview in 10 minutes, so it won't be exhaustive. The Bilder der Schweiz Online project wants to address 3 audiences: the schools, a scientific community, and a wider audience. We'll come back to the school at the next meeting, but let's talk a little bit about the scientific community and the wider audience. These categories are useful for us, but they will not appear on the website except for the schools category. Instead, we propose to separate the audiences by type of content and leave the choice to the visitor. In the scientific community, we find researchers, for example, in art history, geography, tourism, students, as well as specialized institutions like museums, library, auction house, etc. The category wider audience contains anyone who is interested in the historical images of Switzerland in our cultural heritage. But there is one fundamental thing that differentiates these 2 audiences. The scientific community has specific needs for research, for example, the study of a graphic art collection, while the wider audience basically has no needs, but rather desire, the desire to be entertaining, to learn more, to discover new subjects or topics. And this is the most difficult audience to attract and the most difficult to retain. We should not expect this audience to come to us, but we should go to them. For the past few weeks, we have also been working on the structure of the website, which you can see here. So it's not definitive, it's in progress. We will have a general menu with a simple, just here, and an advanced search function, a page for schools here, as well as a tab dedicated to the Schweizer Kleinmeister here, that we would like to put forward because their works compose a large part of the collection accessible on Bilder der Schweiz Online. Then we find a sub-menu with all the topics here. We will deal with such as the interactive maps of Switzerland, the artist networks in the 18th and 19th century, the evolution of the landscape with the use of snapshot. Stephanie talked about that, so I won't say a lot about snapshot. The Swiss culture and tradition, as well as the printing techniques. The main focus of the content will be on the artworks of the Schweizer Kleinmeister. We will offer a brief presentation of the Schweizer Kleinmeister, for example, with Gabriel Lori or Johann Aberli, a presentation of the artist networks in the 18th and 19th centuries, in particular the context of the production of the Voyage Pittoresque, as well as the training of artists in Switzerland and abroad. And to make this interactive, we will use a map and a timeline to follow an artist and the evolution of his or her network of relationships during his or her life. And we also hope to be able to link this content with the Nationalbibliothek website on the Schweizer Kleinmeister that you can see here. The second major topics we are developing is related to interactive maps of Switzerland through the integration of Swiss Topo maps. So Swiss Topo, which is the Federal Office of Topography, offers a choice of maps from 1861 until today. And there is also a geolocation tool, and it allows us to see the changes in the place where we are, both in the maps and in the views. Here you can see the difference between 1861 and 2080. We will also use the interactive maps of Switzerland to present different Voyage Pittoresque. Here, for example, you have the Voyage Pittoresque de Genève à Milan de Gabriel Lori. And the objective is to present the view on the interactive maps and to have access to more information about the represented place by clicking on the image. So here you have the interactive maps, and then if you click, you have more information about the place. And we are currently developing this content by collecting information from 19th century travel guides, such as the travel guide by Johann Gottfried Ebel. The last topic I want to talk about here is the printing techniques. As there will be a large number of prints available on Bilder der Schweiz Online, we find it important to present also the different printing techniques. So here you have details woodcut, copper plate, etching, etc. This content will mainly come from the material of the exhibition Souvenir Suisse, developed by Christian Ferro for the Kunstmuseum Winterthur. We will present the different engraving technique and select prints to accompany these explanations, add video material, and propose also thematic articles on the techniques. I will end this presentation with the thesaurus we developed for Bilder der Schweiz Online. From the abbreviation inscribed on the printed images and collected by Ad Steinman on his book History of the Development of Manual Interior Printmaking Processes. We built a thesaurus in connection with the techniques and the role of the artist. Here you can see the BSO thesaurus. And we used the thesaurus Art and Architecture of the Getty Research Institute, which we adapted to our needs. Here you can see an example with the concept engraver. We have collected the abbreviation related to the role of engraver in the different languages. So here you have all the abbreviations. And it will therefore be possible to search for the abbreviations on the prints, and each entry will be completed with explanations about the roles and the technique, so that non-specialist visitors understand the meaning of the terms. It was quick and only a small part of what happens in project part 2 at the moment, but Michael Matile and I can be reached by email if you have any questions or comments. I thank you a lot for your attention.